Today, I want to talk about consciousness and the fantastically improbable. This isn't a lecture or some abstract theory, it's about life in our world. Join me on this journey to the edge of science and reality. The thing that really kicked this off was waking up with the realization that we're probably in a simulation. It's fairly obvious if you bother to notice the glitches, the aspects of life that make zero sense. They're saying, this is not real, but we conveniently overlook them. Did you know that scientists still can't create life? Not even the simplest kind. Every known life form, even the tiniest bacterium, runs on complex DNA. There's nothing in between, no simpler version that bridges the gap between chemistry and biology. Yet we're told life just appeared, maybe with a lightning strike, by chance. But even the most basic cells are packed with motors, sensors, memory, and repair systems. That's not a lucky accident, that's already a refined system. You don't need to believe in God to question the official story. Francis Crick, who co-discovered DNA, didn't buy the theory either. He believed the odds of life starting here by chance were so low that it made more sense to think it came from somewhere else, maybe carried here on a comet or seeded by something beyond Earth. It's a long shot, but still more believable than life assembling itself. And that brings us back to the simulation. In a coded world, life doesn't need to evolve through blind trial and error. It can be instantiated, like loading a program. DNA doesn't just look like code, it functions like it. 4 chemical bases arranged in exact sequences, copied with error correction, executing biological instructions with machine-like efficiency. That's not random, it's architecture. The miracle I experienced today was a miracle that happens every day to each one of us, at least while you're alive, which is that I opened my eyes and experienced consciousness. I was able to feel my body lying in bed under my mental control, and I was able to imagine myself outside it, even contemplate the universe. Consciousness could be another glitch. Why can't we explain it? Such a basic thing. Why do we and our scientists seem to hit a cognitive wall when it comes to understanding our own experience of reality? It's not like we don't try. Entire fields of neuroscience and philosophy have devoted themselves to cracking this mystery. But after all the brain scans, all the AI models, and decades of theorizing, no one can tell you why your thoughts feel like something. Not just electrical activity, not just chemical reactions, but a first-person experience, a self, an I. This is known as the hard problem of consciousness, and it's one of the clearest signs that something deeper is going on. We've learned how to mimic all kinds of biological systems, sight, movement, even parts of reasoning. But no matter how advanced our programs become, they never become aware. They simulate behavior, but they don't feel anything. There's no inner world, and that tells us something important. Consciousness doesn't behave like anything else in the body. It can't be modeled, measured, or replicated. It's in a category of its own. Cognitive scientist Donald Hoffman argues that what we experience as reality is really just an interface, like icons on a desktop. The objects, colors, and sensations we perceive aren't the world itself. They're a simplified model, a survival filter.
When you simply open your eyes and look around, you're using billions of neurons and trillions of synapses just to see the world in this room. Close one eye, put your finger over the boundary between the top and the bottom, and you'll see they're the same shade of gray.
Evolution didn't shape us to see the truth. It shaped us to see what we need to see, and nothing more. Without that filter, we'd be exposed to the raw data of the universe, unfiltered energy, impossible scales, quantum chaos. We wouldn't last a second. So what we think of as reality is a kind of simulation, not imposed from outside, but running inside us, built into our biology. It's not just us either. Any sentient species would evolve its own interface, a limited rendering of a deeper world it can't comprehend. It's not just perception, it's an internal animation of a journey through a simulation. But then this experience of consciousness took a somewhat dark turn. I realized that life is, on the surface, meaningless. Think about it. Each one of us is a tiny collection of energy particles on a small planet. This planet is orbiting a star that is spiraling through space at incredible speeds within a galaxy. That galaxy contains hundreds of billions of stars, and there are estimated to be over 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. We are tiny, and we are made out of energy. Do you know that every day countless invisible rays pass through our bodies, particles from deep space, born in exploding stars and distant galaxies? Neutrinos, for example, are ghost-like particles produced by the sun and cosmic events. Around 100 trillion of them pass through your body every second without you ever noticing. That's how porous and insubstantial we really are at the quantum level. We're not isolated from the universe, we're immersed in it, bathed in its radiation, connected in ways we can't see. So if you're still holding on to the idea that you're just a lump of flesh, separate from everything else, think again. You're mostly empty space, vibrating with energy, being constantly penetrated by the cosmos. And somehow, through all that, you still feel, you still think, you still say I. That shouldn't be possible unless there's something deeper going on. If this all seems very confusing, let me quickly surmise the big glitches in the matrix, the problems our creators apparently solved through patches rather than design. First, life. The creator clearly wanted life to exist in the system, to grow, to evolve, to reproduce. But there was no clean way to generate it from within the rules of chemistry and physics. So life was patched in. That's why we still can't recreate it. The code runs, but the origin remains locked. Second, the code itself. DNA doesn't behave like random chemistry, it behaves like programming, tightly structured with rules, syntax, storage, and execution. It's too exact, too layered. That's not emergence, that's inserted logic. Third, consciousness. Maybe it emerged naturally, maybe it didn't, but there's something suspicious about it. At the very least, it reminds us that our perception isn't reality. We only sense what helps us survive. The real world, whatever it is, lies mostly beyond our reach. Fourth, the beginning. Every simulation needs a launch point, a moment it starts running. That might explain why we struggle to make sense of the universe's origin. The Big Bang Theory, though widely accepted, seems cartoonish and ridiculous when you look at it closely, and the only other serious explanation, God, aligns perfectly with the idea of an external creator starting a contained system. And finally, us. We're alive, aware, reflective, in a universe that appears almost entirely dead. Maybe that's not just a coincidence. Maybe we're more important than the scale suggests. The vastness could be fake data, background detail to make us feel small in a simulation that's actually built around us. Some theories even suggest that reality only comes into focus when it's observed, like a game engine rendering the scene just as you turn the corner. If that's true, then most of the universe isn't even there until we go looking for it. The fact that we are conscious in this vast, mostly lifeless universe could be seen as a glitch, but I see it as a miracle. Every life is an improbability, to say the least, and yet out of all the matter and energy scattered across billions of galaxies, somehow I or you just happen to be configured in a way that allows us to contemplate it, to observe it, to wonder. Consciousness appears unimaginably rare in the universe. You won't find it anywhere within the vast burning sun that fuels life on Earth. The sun is power without awareness, but here in this tiny water-based body, soft, fragile, fleeting, awareness is distilled. The universe has, in some mysterious way, folded in on itself and become self-aware through you. Life may seem meaningless, but surely this consciousness thing that you and I are experiencing right now is precious. It is worth something. We are worth something. And you know what consciousness allows you to do? It gives you control. Whatever you can touch or reach or influence, whether in the physical world or the digital one, is yours to shape. And you have a choice. You can ruminate on what happened yesterday. You can worry about what might happen tomorrow. But what you have right now in this very moment is a miracle to be appreciated and savored. You are a conscious being. That alone is extraordinary. What you do next is entirely up to you. Maybe we were created by a program. Maybe none of this is real in the way we think. But that doesn't make it meaningless. If anything, it makes it more meaningful. Each of us has what feels like free will, so let's use it. Let's live this strange and beautiful life on Earth fully today.